Good morning, my name is Michael. I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of my 1965 Pontiac Le Mans. And here is the engine. It's a 455 that's 30 over, 6X-4 heads, Eagle cast steel crank, Eagle H-beam rods, topped off by a set of SRP forged pistons. 6X-4 heads. Comp springs in there, Farrier valves, 211 intake, 177 exhaust. Of course, the exhaust valves have been cut. They were originally 166. Thought I'd go a little bigger. Heads themselves have been ported substantially. I need ram air 4 gaskets on the intakes for them to match up correctly, and even those sometimes need a little trimming. You see here, it's a Holley 750. That's Torquer 2 intake, and I did cut the water crossover off to make it a little easier to get the intake on and off if necessary. The carburetor does have its issues. Primary metering plate is had a little issue. It would drip fuel from the boosters. Make idling kind of tough, so I swapped the secondaries for the primaries and kind of cleared up that problem. Don't run the best on wide open throttle, kind of goes back to a dripping fuel from the boosters, but it's not as noticeable and easier to tune out. The distributor is a Pertronix HEI unit. It was the first thing I'd ever bought back when this engine this car had the 400 in it. Been pretty reliable. Like I said, I've had it for 10 years. The module in it is bad. It's tested bad. You can't replace it with a factory. You need to get the Pertronix module. But for some reason, the engine runs pretty good. Don't run the best. The timing isn't as stable as it should be. And between that and the carburetor, I think I'm missing about 75 horsepower. The exhaust starts off with a set of Hedman headers. They're about 8 years old. Actually in pretty good shape. I believe they're inch and 7/8. I might be mistaken. Like I said, it's been a while. Headers dump into a set of 40 series Flowmasters. A little bit of pipe in between that and another set of Cherry Bomb turbos. My dog's in the background, it's kind of distracting. Originally I had header extensions just capped off by the 40 series Flowmasters, but the local law didn't like that too much and the neighbors complained, so turned these header extensions around and capped them off with the Cherry Bombs to quiet it down. Those in the know that it's not the original style radiator hose. Kind of a little custom job I did. This is a aluminum northern radiator, mostly for circle track racing. It does a pretty good job here. This size engine, this kind of cam. The hottest days and the slowest traffic, it'll get up to about 200 degrees at best. I do have the original fan guard that goes right there. Let's go back here to the trunk. About 5 years ago, I was going off to a street strip direction with this car. Then it wasn't my primary source of transportation. This was kind of a project. I was planning on just doing a sheet metal in here and mounting the fuel cell flush. Trunk, for the most part, the trunk pan is not bad. I do have little pinholes here. And my worst spot, you get a kick out of this, right here where the spare tire usually goes. I widened out the hole, got the rust off, painted over it so it wouldn't continue to rust, and then little hillbilly engineering there, got the fuel lines running through the rust hole. This is a Holley blue pump. 6 AN all the way up to the carburetor from here on out. On the other side of the filter is 8 AN. show you the seal here in the trunk. It's a little bright and sunny out here today, so the glare might affect your viewing ability. The seal's all there, albeit it's a little dry, still soft. Once you take a good look, the rust is very minimal through here. No rust through, a lot of surface rust. I wouldn't really say a lot, but more than I'm comfortable with. This was going to be a project car. I have a 97 Trans Am that was my daily driver. And through a little bit of spirited driving, I managed to spin a bearing in the bottom of that. So I had to build this motor up and get it ready for the road pretty much over the weekend. So I had some sort of some form of transportation. I'm showing you the trunk now. Trunk's almost perfect. I'll give you an idea of some of the problem areas you'll see with other cars. This car really just doesn't have. This right here is the majority of the rust around the window frame. We'll follow it up around here and you'll see a little bit more there. Continues throughout. For the most part, this body is rust free, especially in the trouble areas. Now on the driver's side door, and I'll show you that here in a little bit, there is a patch of Bondo. I repainted this car over a weekend when I came in. I was in the Navy at the time. Came in for the weekend. Laid the body up in aircraft stripper and saran wrap. Peeled it off. Went to scraping and found Bondo right in this general area here. When I was scraping, the Bondo was nice and soft, so I took a chunk of that with me. And I only had a weekend, so I really didn't have time to make the proper repairs. So in this general area here, see if I can give you a little better outline of it. It has parts up here, stretches to down here, and right here you'll see, right through here, and it's carried some onto that little part of the recorder. I don't know if it was damaged, I don't know if it rusted out. So if you look at the door jamb, open that up here for you. For the most part, door jamb's pretty good shape. So, I don't know if it was damaged or why the Bondo was used. I just know it's used. It was used in this door. I haven't taken the door panel off to see what's going on in there. Just the door jamb along here. But for some reason they needed the Bondo there. I have been unsuccessful in finding me a new door, and door skins are kind of tough to come by since this is the 1 year only body style. Though the 64 door might work, I'm not for sure.